Fantastic.
Hello, welcome to another backyard blog with Howie Sheriff from You Call This Yoga, having the opportunity to meet with and explore further some of the special people that are sponsoring our programs, not only currently, but over several years. And this has been very exciting to have these opportunities to not travel and connect. So we have the opportunity today to meet with Carolyn Byrd, founder and owner of Carey Integrative Health, who can give a little background about herself and how she's gotten here. Welcome, Carolyn.
Hi, Howie. Thank you. Thank you for having me. As Howie's introduced, my name is Carolyn Byrd. I own Carey Integrative Health. We are on the edge of Cary and Apex, North Carolina. We are a healthcare collaborative, so we are trying to bring together all aspects of healthcare providers to better treat our clients and provide the services that will help them on their health journey. So currently in the space, we have a mental health care practitioner, a functional medicine doctor, a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, a nutritionist, and then myself, and I hold the, chair or position of massage and bodywork therapist, as well as health and habit coach. So we have been serving the community for about 2 years now. It was a lot of fun to make that leap in early 2019. And it's been amazing that even through the pandemic, especially through the pandemic, we have been able to assist our clients and really help them relieve pain and relieve stress and find their way to a better balance and health. So it's been a lot of fun to see everything come together. And that's who we are and what we're doing.
Well, and I'd like to add and acknowledge whoever's viewing this, and Carolyn too, that we met long before this actually happened in a relative sense of the vision and the process and the setbacks. And your perseverance to this vision is really commendable. I'm thrilled when you tell me where you are as a business and as a person, because many years ago, when you were still contracting space and spoke of this dream and was about to do it, and then it didn't happen, and then family and career priorities came up, and then you found another space, and then you made it happen, and then you had this will because you took the venture on with debt and commitment and uncertainty, and that was before the pandemic. So
Yes. It has been an adventure, and this space was a dream, like a decade-long dream. And you're right, it was, gosh, I think 6 years ago that I probably first spoke of this to you when I was in my little space previously, and it has come a long way, and it's been really neat to see it all come together. It's been just incredible.
Yes, and having a business in the past and the responsibility of overhead and personnel and clients and etc. It really takes savvy and spirit. So that shines through over the years. So even when you've been challenged, your demeanor has been excellent.
Well,
so anyone
thank you.
that's
I appreciate
curious
that.
about learning more about Carolyn in this space, I can testify to that. So just jumping back, and even currently, so what keeps you connected or brought you to You Call This Yoga? How does it feel historically and currently?
So I I was originally a massage and bodywork therapist and a yoga instructor, and I started practicing when I was 15, and I was certified to teach when I was about 21, 22. I did massage therapy school, and then while I was waiting for my licensure to move through after taking the boards, I got my yoga teacher training, well, my first one, and I later that was a very classical teacher training. It was up at Yogaville with Integral Yoga. And then a few years later, I did a very alignment based yoga teacher training in Chapel Hill. So I deeply understand how transformational, and I don't use that word in a cliched manner at all, but I really understand how transformational yoga can be. I when I did those trainings, I was actually taking a pause of my undergraduate endeavors. And I went back to um, complete my undergraduate degree. My degree was in developmental psychobiology, but I had the chance to work in a lot of different psychology labs. And I did my honors thesis, which was actually more extensive than my master's thesis, on looking at the difference of state and trait anxiety when an individual, or many individuals, is actually a class, did an 8-week yoga course. So I looked at the difference in your state of anxiety during the one class, but then I also looked at the difference over an 8-week class. And there was significant findings that yoga decreased blood pressure, heart rate, and your anxiety levels. So at the time, I also was building my practice and teaching, and I just saw the incredible impact that yoga had. Even in an anecdotal way, people working through traumas, people improving their lives, being able to show up better. When we embrace the 8 limbs of yoga, that's a whole nother level of transformation. And so it has always been near and dear to my heart and helped me personally through some very difficult times. So when I found You Call This Yoga, it was just something that I had to be a part of, because traditionally yoga coming into the Western world has been very much limited to high-end studios that you have to pay $10 to $25 to join the class. And that's actually not how yoga is supposed to be. It's supposed to be accessible to everyone. And the initiative behind You Call This Yoga, bringing yoga and its many benefits into populations that are really in need, schools in underprivileged areas, veterans who are suffering from mental health issues and PTSD, and people who are dealing with the challenges of cancer. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. This was absolutely something I needed to be a part of. And it's been so cool to see it grow and expand, just from sort of this thought idea, brainchild Howie was having, to really coming to life through Yoga Fest for several years, but also through the sponsorships and the grants, I believe, that you've gotten to bring this to the Triangle. And it's been just amazing to be a part of really giving people tools that they can use, so they are not in a practice that they can use. So they're improving their lives and taking ownership and empowerment from that. So I had to be a part of it. It was really neat to see someone doing that in the community. So it wasn't even a question when I heard about it.
Well, thank you. It's an exclamation point. You did
Yeah.
call it yoga. And for those viewing, Carolyn's participated as a health advisor at our Heart Day and at Alliance Medical Ministry. She's been a teacher at Yoga Fest. She's been a sponsor at Yoga Fest. And just for those quick three. So we cherish Carolyn, as she's also currently part of the sponsoring, first for veterans, but we're not at the VA currently, So therefore, we've shifted that over to our Saturday morning chair yoga class with Anjana Rathors. So we've connected Carolyn's passion to a particular subgroup in our ongoing programs. So that's great. So you mentioned that 2020 has been a growthful year. How you're managing what's happening and what are the demands of a businesswoman these days?
Um, Gosh, that's a great question. I think one of my favorite memes that I've seen lately is, if someone asked you in 2015 where you'd see yourself in 5 years, no one expected this, and it's spot on. Um, we have seen incredible growth in so many ways. Within Carry Integrative Health itself, we have filled all of our spaces. So our model is a sublet model. We want to support and encourage solopreneurs or entrepreneurs in the medical field to come into our space, and we want to help elevate them. We want them to have their own autonomy, and it's working. And that it was sort of an experiment, but it's working. They are just thriving and building their practice even in this troubling, unstable time. So it's been really neat to see that and see their growth, and that excites us. We were able to hire an amazing office manager, and she just, stepped in, and it was like she'd been here from the beginning. So didn't even miss a beat. And in doing that, we've been able to do even more outreach and collaboration. And it feels like it's just growing exponentially. So that's in the center. And then for me personally, 2010 has been crazy. I had to shut down my practice. We had to pretty much shut down the entire office March 17th. And life got even more crazier because the same day my husband broke his ankle. So it was
That's
just
helpful. Yeah.
right. So it was a real practice what you preach moment and dig deep. And I have really embraced the word balance, and I have shifted into a verb. So balance now for me is a practice. It's not this end destination where you show up when you've done these things, because every day looks different. For a while, it was helping manage him and his appointments. He ended up having to have surgery. And then we have a 3.5-year-old. And so, the personal aspect was crazy. Everyone's finances sort of gotten shook. So that was crazy. But since I was out of the office and sort of had this space, because we were very lucky our daughter was able to continue daycare, I was able to start to develop some online courses that I'm really excited about that are coming out by the end of the year. And I was able to dig deep and work more on a series of books that I have coming out. I also started working on and developing my equine bodywork practice. So I now, yeah, horses. I now have a steady, client base of equine bodywork clients. So really having to shift into that and just lean into the opportunities that were presenting themselves. And that sort of, as things fell apart, we were able to put things back together in a way that is now supporting not only my practice, but the space. Like that all got us through to where we are now. And it's all settled out beautifully. It's all feeding into each other. The courses will be launched by the new year. And the first book will be out in the spring. And we have still had the resources and foundation to support our providers going through this. And I think that was a really scary time for a lot of them, because 3 of the 6 of us had just launched in the last 12 months. So that's scary. That's real scary for them. So we were really able to support them by shifting and shifting our foundation and how we were doing things.
Beautiful. Wow.
So my little mantra word is balance, and like I said, I have changed that from a destination to a practice. It is very much a verb for me these days.
Understood. And it comes in different senses too, whether it's
Yes.
how we're seeing things, how we're sensing them, and processing them.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
a very dynamic wheel that's going on.
Yes. That's a
So,
great way to put it.
and so in this balance, so let's say, and we'll get to how to find you, but if you were to give one little tip, let's say, okay, Carolyn's little special element of how does she get a sense of balance in a moment's notice? What would you come up with? I know this wasn't planned.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. There's actually two components to it. The first one is when I start feeling the anxiety, the to-do lists are getting stuck on what I can't control. I real quick, shut that down, and then I focus on two things: everything that I have in my life. Because even though there's a lot of unsettledness and uncertainty right now, we are so fortunate to have the people in our space, the clients. We are healthy. We had daycare. We had, like, there are so many elements that I'm so grateful for. So when I feel myself down that path, I put a stop to it and then start listing out these things that I just have so much gratitude for. And that, in effect, really helps me ground myself. And I can also feel the physiological effect of relaxing, because I have faith that I'm supported, and I have faith that I've gotten through a lot, and we will get through this. I will get through this. We will get through this. So that grounds myself. And then I really, once I feel that settled, I focus on what I can control. And that, even if it's how I show up, or my breathing, or checking the simplest thing off of my to-do list, that's where I go, because that makes me feel like I got something done. And you know that's those are my, I suppose, coping mechanisms: is gratitude, and then looking at what I can do. And that
Mhm.
usually, like I said, brings me back. And sometimes the what can I do is sitting still, is not really doing anything. Um,
Yes,
and
right.
that's also been a big lesson of the last year.
Humbling. Yes, I've a quest for stillness that preceded the pandemic, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Uh, it is there's so much that's stirring that just the pause.
Yes, I had an incredible yoga instructor. He's now a fantastic chiropractor in the area. His name's Michael Ward, and he had this amazing advanced practice. And we walked in one day, and he was like, "We're gonna revisit the basics, and we're gonna practice being really still and the foundational aspects." And then I remember that class talking about, even when we're really overwhelmed, we can get into those nervous cycles. And he said, and I love this, sometimes the best yoga is no yoga.
Right, in
And
that
yeah,
empirical sense. Yes.
right. It's the practice of stillness. And that has stuck with me for years. And so I um, found that to be very, very helpful.
Yeah, coin has more than one side.
Yes, absolutely.
Sometimes even the coin has three sides.
Yes, very
And
dynamic.
we play frisbee golf, and you watch this thing disc roll, and it was like, wow. It's amazing. It's not a top or a bottom, it's a side.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that is virtuous. Wonderful. Well, then, what's the best way to get in touch with you, young lady?
Yeah, fantastic. You can reach me. Our office number is 919-651-0038. We would love to hear from you. And if there's a way that we can help you on your health journey, please reach out. We have so many resources here. And if we don't have it, we can probably refer you somewhere. Also, check us out at caryintegrativehealth.com. Here's a list of all of our providers, links to their websites and their contact information. So if you are a little nervous about calling in, you can get the information there. It's caryintegrativehealth.com. And then if you have questions and want to reach me directly, my email is caroline@caryintegrativehealth.com. And I am happy to correspond with you and talk with you, answer any questions that we can.
Thank you,
Oh,
Carolyn.
Facebook. We've got a great active Facebook page, so you can reach us there as well.
Wonderful. And is there any sort of total office experience or anything that the group might be sharing? Is there any way of learning more about that? Any collaborative community efforts or?
Yes. So on our Facebook, Carry Integrative Facebook, we have a lot of information about each different practitioner, and we do work in collaboration. So we strive to refer to each other and really understand the dynamics of each client and individual's health journey. So that is very, very much a part of what we offer here. So, did I
Excellent.
answer your question?
Yes.
Awesome.
It's within where you can do within. It's hard to venture out.
Yes.
So it's nice that people are, it's a dynamic system.
Yes.
And I've been to the space, and it's a beautiful space too, nestled in the pines in Southwest Cary.
Yes, it is. We love it. So thank you.
Yeah, I loved it. I really liked it. There was a really nice sense about it because it was quiet but not removed.
Yes, absolutely. That's the intention. We've got this lovely, it's very quiet. It is in a medical space. It's a McGregor Pines Medical. We're right off of Lake Pine Drive, but we are the only building back here. So you don't hear traffic. You rarely hear anybody in the halls, and it is a dedicated medical building. And then we're on the third floor, so you don't get any noise above. And then most of the offices have these beautiful windows that you almost feel like you're in the mountains because you don't see any houses or offices or roads. So it's been a lot of fun to be in this space.
It's like this backyard blog.
Exactly. It's like a tree house.
With a window. Wonderful. Thank you, Carolyn. We cherish the relationship and just so excited about how you've grown.
Yes, likewise. Thank you.
Carry Integrative Health, a longtime partner and friend of You Call This Yoga.
Absolutely.
See you soon,
We're
everybody.
so glad to.
Thank you.